Hello alchemists, and this is Cauldron. Welcome back to the series where we have our store permanently closed and we simply working in a Amazon fulfillment center and just building that in our backyard and trying to send it into online orders out of our little shop. So as we can see, our store is still closed, everything is empty, but there have been a couple updates. I just moved things around. I added a belt with monies on it. We hooked up a couple buildings to purchasing portals, so we don't have to worry about that. We moved all the production materials like wood, gears, stone, rope, and everything. Nails, iron. We just moved everything to the corner. It's just for ease of access, so we can grab it whenever we need to build something. And I still have a couple of these growing here. It's okay, not a big deal. But all the production is chugging along. We have a bunch of bandages stored. I didn't want to have 2 stacks of it, so I just put gelatinous gridlock in there and everything else being sold. So we're slowly selling it. We're sending it in there and we're sending it into the chest. Yep. And then chest just pretty much throws it on a belt and it goes around. Right. As we can see, fertilizer is full. It's working. Everything is full here. Right, there's enough money. Well, this one is filling up. Probably just purchased one of the stones. But yeah, this one is full. This one is full. Everything is pretty much full of money and waiting to be spent. And that pretty much means that our rather bad setup right here, unoptimized, it's not producing that much. Still enough to support whatever we have here. So that's just a proof in itself that we can clearly survive without selling anything to anyone and simply working in a fulfillment center, sending everything and making online sales. So let's take a look what we're gonna do today. And plan for today is we want to make glass. We need to do this. We need extractor and blender because we want to produce vitality potion to go to the level 5 next level. And level 5 is when we unlock our next contract, which is Gloom Spores. But Gloom Spores is I don't like the build, right? It's not as good. Oh, we also unlocked advanced fertilizer. But why I'm looking at Gloom Spores, because probably I want to just speedrun to transformation potion, because I want to unlock Cauldron. And Cauldron is what's going to change everything, because with Cauldron, my Gloom Spores build is going to be completely different, and it's going to produce so much money that we're not going to know where to spend it. Yep. So, and also we're going to make a bronze build, because Cauldron's going to produce impure copper powder to make more cauldrons. And I'm thinking that we're going to be producing also growth potions. I'll try to see if I can skip and not produce advanced fertilizer whatsoever. Maybe we can just go straight into production of growth potion and throw that on the belt. And that way, everything's just gonna get much more easy, much easier. And yeah, that's the plan. I'm looking at Cauldron. I like it. I want it in my life. And let's see if we can get there. Alright, so if we take a look, we copied this fertilizer build, but with slight modifications. Because I did not like how long it took for all the fuel to reach to the very end. I just split the stone furnaces, so one that's going to produce fuel is going to be in the beginning, it's going to feed itself and the other 2 furnaces. And the next one right here is going to feed itself and furnace to the right and to the left. So yeah, that's a slight change, and we're going to put it right here. It's going to produce more fertilizer because we're going to need it for vitality potion production. In the meantime, there are some nice quests in the inbox, so let's see if we can complete it. I need a few more nails, and well, we have a good amount of nails, and I was leeching some bandages here as well. Okay, we got a lot. Perfect, so let's go complete it. Nice. And by the way, there's bricks that's left over from disassembling the house, so yeah, that was very, very handy. 40 silver right now is very helpful. Let's take a look at this build. We don't have bricks right now, and it's not priority for me at the moment, so I'm not going to be looking even at this order. That's a good amount, and we're producing everything else. So for now, let's concentrate on moving further down the production tree. So I added little glass build here so I can produce a little bit of glass in the meantime, because I needed glass for blender, I need glass for extractor, right? And I wanted to test and see what numbers I'm working with, right? So here's what we see. This produces 7.5 red current a minute, because quite frankly, fertilizer is not good. This fertilizer is just, it's terrible, right? So one produces 7.5 to produce 15. Extraction needs 15 a minute to produce 150 of fruit wine. And this needs 900 to produce at 11.2 a minute. So I'm thinking, do I want to build a big build for Vitality Potion that I'm not going to use for anything else but just to unlock next progression stage? Probably not. Probably going to leave it like this. I'm going to let it go, produce its 150 instead of 900 a minute. This one's going to go down as well. And slowly but surely, I don't know, produce 2 of them a minute. And we're going to get to 150 minutes. Yeah, I think it's fine. I'll just let it do its thing. And in the meantime, our other build's gonna keep making money. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna need to build anything else, right? But other than that, yeah, we're just gonna make this work. We're just gonna, have it go and work little by little. I'm probably gonna need soap as well, because I'm thinking that alright, I'm gonna need Gloom Spores, and for that we have soap there. Actually, for transformation potion. Yeah, for Gloom Spores. Soap. Yeah, soap is used in that recipe. Because it's needed for yeast powder. Yeah, right there. Soap is used there. And, yeah, probably unlock this as soon as possible. Have that work. And we're also gonna need soap for copper powder. Well, and for impure copper powder as well, because it's gonna produce an ethanol. And as long as we produce 30 impure copper powder, I can make my first cauldron. That's it. The next thing I'm doing is I'm producing more cauldrons, and everything's gonna snowball from there. Alright, so, but for now, let's work on this little Vitality Potion build. Alrighty, so little by little we are making Vitality Potion. Yeah, we already have 5. Oops, let's take a look. Yeah, we made 12 silver, and our expenses were not that much. Yeah. Even without shop, we're still making way more money selling one batch of bandages than whatever we're spending. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so we have fertilizer coming this way. We are taking it from this build. We also leech in some of the quick lime instead of making another crucible. I didn't want to do that. I'm just sending it this way because enough is produced over there. So it's being sent here. And fertilizer is also coming from over there because everything is backed out with fertilizer already. And again, little by little, slowly, we are making it, and we will get there. Sooner or later, well, or rather sooner than later, that will be full. Anyways, so another thing we want to do, we're going to do the inventory increase. And we're going to get ourselves couple hours, -2 hours of sleep. That means that we're going to be working, our builds are going to be working for 2 hours longer. Alright, let's do this. Okay. And let's do this. Perfect. Yeah, we can do that one easily as well. So is this one. Yep. Alright, let me collect everything, and we're gonna do another round of these. Let's see how we're doing here. 31, so more or less we're third way there. Okay. Let's go do this, because we can do potion belt already. We're gonna take another 2 hours to our name. So, now instead of being able to stay up until midnight, now it's gonna be 2 a.m. And inventory, let's add another row. Let's take a look. Nice. Much better. Okay, that's gonna be later, and we're also working on that later, and don't even need that. Okay, and there was a random quest I thought I was able to do. Yeah, I guess let's do that. I don't want to do that one. No. But 28 carbon request. That I want to do very much. Awesome. And we have very nice 69 silver. Let's take a look at the chest. We still have 7 undispatched silver. We have 12 silver sitting here. So we have a lot of money right now. Awesome. That seems like it's working just fine. Yeah, we dispatched 50, so that's 1 times 12 silver. Sounds good. And this one is already more than 1/3, so that is awesome. Let's wait for it to get to 100. I got impatient and started working on a transformation potion build, because if I remember it correctly, we needed coke powder or something like that. So the coal ore is gonna go here. It's gonna need to go through crucibles and then being crushed into coke powder. Then we needed a plant ash, so one of those is gonna go there, one of sage. Then I believe we needed linseed oil from one of the flax, and we also needed, and that's for soap, and that's together with the flax, and plant ash needed for soap. And if I remember correctly, we also needed red currant for the red wine, and the ground soap together with a red wine was needed for, let's see, yeast powder. Yeah, oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. And that's how we were producing gloom spores. And I believe when we complete this quest, we're gonna unlock rotten log, and that's how we're gonna be getting the mushrooms. So yeah, I'm just trying to fill the space and fill the time, because we're slowly getting there, but we need 54 more. And since I have time, just building away here, getting ready for next level, trying to speed it up, trying to make it easier on myself. Alright, seems like we're almost there. Let's see. And one more tick of this. Yep, we are producing our final to get to 100. And there we go. Let's go complete it. And we're gonna collect our very beautiful 60 silver. Nice. So we're level 5 now. We have 2 more points, and we unlocked rotten log and coal ore. Beautiful. So now we need to produce transformation potions. Great. Yeah, alright. So we're gonna be looking into that. Transformation potion, we definitely need to unlock this. Yeast powder, we definitely need athanor, at least to begin with. I'm not looking to do anything here. We don't need this, we don't need this, we will need this later. I'm not gonna use Jupiter for knowledge, it's literally worthless. I am not even sure if I'm gonna do Saturn, even though it's not that difficult. Mars is a bit more cumbersome. I'm not sure about that. Venus looks very interesting because it only uses liquids, potions and liquids, so that might be something I'll look into. But for now, yeah, let's start doing this. Let's unlock Gloom Spores as well, and let's try to speedrun into transformation potions. Oh, another thing we're gonna need to have is a filter splitter, but that's right after we get to athanor. And coke as well. That's another important thing. Okay, let's research everything that we need, and we will get into yeah, designing some builds. Okay, let's see what we're working with. So I put this little build together. Yeah, we have one furnace that we are doing the coke powder on top of, and we're also doing plant ash. Plant ash is being sent into soap, and together with linseed oil we're making soap, grinding it, and it's being sent inside the blender to make yeast powder. Fruit wine is produced right there from those 3 nurseries and being sent inside. So mushrooms are sent from over here. I just added one. It's slowly grinding away and spewing mushrooms out, sending them this way. They're being sent inside, and we're making gloom spores. And at this point. Gloom Spores are combined with coke powder and producing transformation point potions. And to be honest, they produce at quite high rate, taking into consideration that this build is completely not in up to ratios and it's producing very slowly, but it's still being done little by little, definitely way faster than this build was working. And even this build is making something, because I need some of those potions as well for the belt. Yep, right there. That's why I'm still not disassembling, because as soon as I'm done with oh, let's see. Yeah, right there, 24. That means we did 2 fulfillments of bandages. And our expenses are, well, there was 26 and we made 24 silver, which is 24,000. More or less very close. But it's okay, because as soon as we're done with transformation potions, which are actually going little by little, not bad at all. I'm not gonna touch anything else. We're going straight here. I'm going straight into making Cauldron. And when we do Cauldron, then we're gonna go back, and then we're gonna do everything else. Then we're gonna make our Gloom Spores contract, then we're gonna do everything else. So yeah, that's the goal. We are getting very close to actually be there. And another thing I was thinking about, I'm probably gonna just outright skip advanced fertilizer, not even gonna touch it, not even gonna look at it. And since I'm gonna get Cauldron, I'm gonna start just going with growth potions out of Cauldron build and send it on a belt. And that's gonna fix so many things, and it's gonna fix so many ratios, because everything's gonna be producing at way higher rates. This 7.5, not gonna cut it. This 30-minute, not gonna cut it. This 45-minute, also not good. But as soon as we get to, well, either advanced fertilizer or, which is much better, growth potion, then things gonna change for better. And also I'm gonna have black powder build as well out of cauldrons. So yep, that's the plan, and let's just wait for this to tick to 100. So we got to 100 vitality potions. Let's go turn it in over here. Let's see. All right, we need it for belt. Okay. Oh, look at that. We need transformation potion for both belt and inventory level 4. Awesome. Let's check on that. And, ooh, we can turn it in as well. Perfect. And we're gonna let it keep working so we can get these ones done as well. But for now, let's go turn it in. We're gonna get paid, and we're gonna get to the next level. Okay, we're now level 6. We have 2 more points, and we unlock chamomile seeds. Salt and pyrite. I'm not looking to use either of these ones, but we're gonna use a lot of chamomile seeds. So, and we need growth potions. So here's what I'm thinking, and here's what I was looking at. If we check this out, we need to make first copper powder and impure copper powder in Athanor for us to make first Cauldron. But then even if we unlock Cauldron, we cannot use, or I cannot use my standard Cauldron or bronze production build, which is just triple lavender, because lavender is unlocked at the next level. But there is a less efficient recipe that I don't like that much, so I'm gonna see if I'm gonna use that recipe to produce bronze in the meantime, or if I'm gonna just make first Cauldron and then go straight to growth potion and start producing clay in a clay in a Cauldron, and just produce a bunch of growth potions and unlock next level and then get lavender. I'm not sure about that. I'll see which way I like it better and which way is gonna be easier, and that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, eventually when we unlock Cauldrons, that's the next thing we're gonna do. Gloom Spores. Alright, so I really quick refurbished this transformation potion production, and I got this soap part of it, and I'm sending it into the Athanor together with iron sand, which I'm also just iron sand I'm manually feeding in there, and it's going very slow, but I don't need much. I just need to make 30 of impure copper. Right, oh, it's already producing some. Just need 30 of it to make 30 ingots, and I'm gonna make first Cauldron, and we're gonna go from there. I'm not gonna need to have this build anymore, and this is just very, very temporary for just first 30. And that's about it. And we'll go from there. As soon as I get to 30, we're gonna build something else. Alright, so that took a bit longer than I'm willing to admit, but we got our first cauldron. And what I'm gonna try to do is this recipe right here. So I'm gonna be producing clay out of cauldron, and I'm gonna send it here together with chamomile powder, so I can start making some growth potion. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna complete the quest, and that way I'm gonna unlock lavender, and with lavender many more recipes gonna become available, because right now the recipe to produce impure copper powder is not that good. I don't like it, but with lavender it's gonna be way better, and it's gonna be easier to produce it. Lavender is gonna also unlock a better way to produce Gloom Spores, and together with that we're gonna be able to produce salt, so we don't have to use so we don't have to buy salt and grind it and deal with sand and everything else. It's gonna be way easier to do salt brine. And also we're gonna start using growth potion on the belt instead of this outdated basic fertilizer, because we totally and utterly skipped the advanced fertilizer, and I'm not even planning to make it. We're gonna jump straight into growth potions. Alright, so let me go ahead and connect everything, and we're gonna continue from there. Well, it seems to be working. We're producing some growth potions. They go in here. We see the rate went up to 90 a minute. That's awesome, because this little fertilizers, they don't work. They don't do anything. Yep, but that's fantastic. It's working. It's producing a lot of red currant, and we're making a lot of clay powder because of it. Yep. So the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna make sure to get 100 of those, so we complete the quest. And as soon as we complete the quest, we're gonna unlock lavender, which is the next thing we are waiting for. Alright, and over here we're also almost done. We need to get 200 total, because that's what we're waiting for. We need 120 for belt and 80 for inventory. So as soon as we get 200, we can go ahead and disassemble this build, because we no longer need it in this configuration. And whenever we do, we're just gonna make a new one. But yeah, that's that. We're gonna keep producing growth potions until we complete the quest. And the next thing we're gonna do, when we refurbish this build as well, we're gonna start working on replacing the fertilizer on the belt with some growth potions. And we're finally ready to go and turn it in to unlock the next levels. So let's go and do so and collect our 200 silver coins. Nice, and glorious lavender is unlocked. We are level 7, 2 more points. Yep, quartz ore that we're probably never gonna use, and lavender that we will use a lot. And what else do we need? Plus potion, that will be way easier at this point, because we pretty much unlocked everything we needed for our builds to become way better, way more awesome. So let me see what I can come up with. Well, thanks to this little build, I was able to collect enough potions to turn it in. I was able to make enough cauldrons. And here's what we're looking at. That's the new and updated build, instead of that little thing right there, which we're gonna replace. And it's producing enough of growth potions. Right now it's on a small closed loop. It's just feeding itself, but it's already backing up. So we're gonna let it go on a big loop, and that way we're not gonna need this basic fertilizers anymore. We can disassemble them, and we can start using growth potion. We're also gonna refurbish this build. We're gonna make it into what it's supposed to be. That is finally gonna start making a little bit more money, but even in its outdated state, it was still making some good money. We collecting some silver here, even though it's sending something on the belt. We still have a bunch here, so yep, it was working, but it's gonna be working even better now. So we're gonna do that. And I was also thinking to go ahead and enable the black powder build, but at this point I noticed that lavender consumes a lot of growth potions, so maybe for now I'll stick to coke powder, because coke powder still provides really good heat value. It doesn't burn that fast, so it's not that bad for now. And maybe we'll just hold off on black powder for now. And instead of that, we're gonna refurbish this cauldrons, and we're gonna set up our next contract, which I think we were ready to turn in. Yes, there we go. We are ready to turn this in, and awesome. Now we can start producing Gloom Spores, and that's going to be our second sales contract. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's remove all these little outdated builds. Let's fix a bandage build, and let's come up with some good but not that expensive Gloom Spore build. And I'll see you in a second. And I'm back. So let's take a look. Everything is cleaned up. We're looking way better. This little bit is working. We see there's potions flowing little by little, but they are on the belt, so we're good. Also have coke powder there as well. This is coke powder build. Just put 3 of them, and it goes around. I also cleaned up everything else here. This is our bandage build. It's finally looking better, finally producing better. It sends everything in there. We already sold 2 batches of it. We're selling another one, and it's only noon. So we have a lot of time to sell a few more contracts worth of it. And then it sends it into this chest and goes on a belt. So that's what it looks like. That's the same exact build that I was talking about in my all the contracts video. Yeah, and we're just using the same exact one because it's good, it works, it does what it's supposed to do. So why to do anything else with it? On the other hand, I was thinking about either I should use or I should not use black powder. And honestly, let's look at it. Let's theory craft, because black powder and Gloom Spores somehow very close as far as production goes. So if we take a look, chamomile and chamomile powder, not that difficult to produce, together with coal, which only needs money. So this needs fertilizer, this does not, right? Black powder. This is a cheaper version, as far as fertilizer goes, cheaper version of my other black powder build. So this might make sense. Why we're looking at it? Because now going further down, again, chamomile and chamomile powder with black powder becomes sulfur, and now chamomile and chamomile powder with sulfur becomes Gloom Spore. We can stack it on top of each other and just keep fitting it down and down into the bottom cauldron. And if we take a look at ratios, 14.3 a minute. This one is 12.9. That means we're not gonna consume more or request more than we produced in the previous cauldron. 12.9. And this one is 12.5, same thing. So what I'm saying shouldn't break. But what we're gonna look at final ratios, we're gonna go off of the last one. So 12.5, which means 12.5 of chamomile, 12.5 of chamomile powder. Or in other words, 25 chamomile. For this cauldron, that means 25 for this, because we're gonna limit and constrain by requesting it, right? So we're gonna need 25 out of this one as well, and 25 chamomile out of this one. That means 75 chamomile. And how much does one nursery produce? 90. So one nursery is gonna be enough to support all 3 cauldrons stacked on top of each other to produce 1 cauldron worth of Gloom Spores. And also we're just gonna need one of these grinders. We're gonna be producing 30 coal, and we only need 14.3. So technically, if I wanted to double this, all I need is just one of these, 2 nurseries of chamomile, and 2 stacks, 3 tall of cauldrons. And what are we looking at? 18 per stack, which is 50, and we can do 1600 a day. And honestly, looking at these numbers, maybe we're gonna send 4 stacks a day out of 1 cauldron. So, like, quarter of this. But it's still not bad. quarter is fine. 400, so 4 times this. But if we do double the build, well, maybe we do 800. I don't know. I'll take a look. I'll see what we can do with it. And yeah. But also looking at this, very interesting. Maybe, and also looking at hit values, 3600 versus what does coke powder provide? 792. Yeah, that's a huge difference. So maybe for what it is, maybe we would wanna go ahead and make black powder build, but just this version of it, and just put another one of these builds to produce more of growth potions. If it's not gonna be enough, because now I'm thinking, so we're gonna need 1 or 2 nurseries of chamomile, and I don't know how many more of these would I want to do. Maybe another couple nurseries. So I don't know. I'll try, I'll test it, and I'll see what it does and how it works, and maybe we put another one of these. But let me jump on it, and I'll see you in a second. Oh well, it seems like it's working. We start getting our first Gloom Spores, and let's take a look again. Black powder out of chamomile, coal, and chamomile powder. Then black powder is being sent up to this mix with chamomile and chamomile powder again into sulfur, and sulfur being sent up as well to mix with the same chamomile powder and chamomile to make Gloom Spores. So yep, seems like it's working just fine. And if we look at the backhand, we have one chamomile nursery that's being grinded into the powder and is being sent here, and onto the other side it's actually being sent in here in the center. Then just regular chamomile nursery that sends chamomile here and on the other side. And we have a stone crusher that crushes coal ore, and it just sends it on the first level in between them both right over here. And then the middle ones produce sulfur, they send it right there, and it goes upwards. So yep, Gloom Spores are working, and let's just start sending them so we can complete the contract. Alrighty, let's take a look. The day is almost over, and this is gonna be a first day of having 2 contracts going on. So, ooh, look at that, 84 silver and 234 silver. That's really good numbers. Yep, 318,000 copper. If we transfer that into copper, 318,000 versus 69, very good profits. Yeah, and we haven't sold anything other than just doing contracts. So, awesome. Well, I just learned something. So, if you merge 2 inputs or 2 belts together, that would work as a 50-50, not a splitter, but a merger, pretty much, right? And if you have a limiting factor on any of them, then you're pretty much going to be limiting input on both. And if we're gonna be merging, let's say grinder, belt that comes out of grinder, and another belt, then in this case you're gonna be limiting them to 30 items a minute output. And it's very useful for me right now because I'm working on something where I need not much more than that as far as input goes. So I'm gonna have one input go there, another one gonna go out, and then they're gonna merge again and go around. Nope, not like that. Just like that. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, and we need, let's see, we need 2 of the sigils. Okay. Where do I want this? Somewhere there. Maybe just one behind. Alright, because I'm gonna do this. And this one's gonna go in right away. Yep, that's fine, and it's gonna split in the one that goes above, because ooh, I want this a bit differently. I want it to go out this side. Yep, here. Yeah. But the other one's gonna go forward. And what I wanna do is this. Go out, go in. And you gotta go. How are you gonna go? Alright, let me fix it up really quick. Alright, so this is how I want it. I want this to go from the front. Everything else is the same. It just comes out on this side and goes down here, down below. It's gonna go in the box, and it's gonna go into one of these, and we're gonna be making, what are we gonna be, bronze roots. Yeah, that's fine. And let's also put it in a box. Yep, that's fine. Seems to be working. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's working just fine. And we're gonna let it run. So what are we doing here? We're making black powder out of coal, chamomile powder and chamomile. And then we're mixing coal, black powder and plank into impure copper powder. And that's the same coal we're using here. We're sending it into both cauldrons. And little by little we're smelting bronze ingots. Yep, so that's bronze taken care of. And let's just do a quick assessment what we have, what we're working with. We got bronze and bronze rivets being produced. We have iron and nails. Yep. We all good on that. We have glass, bricks, clay. All that's taken care of. We have both of the little gears. We have rope and wood, stone, and we have a bunch of steel and steel gears. So all that's being taken care of. All that is our building materials. Whenever we need something, we come and grab it. So we have it all ready. And right here we have our bandages being sold. And this is our Gloom Spores. Also we see that we have a bunch of money flowing on the belt. We have enough fertilizer, seemingly. Yeah, seems like we're good on fertilizer. We have coke powder on the belt. And we have 2 of growth potions, because one was quite not enough. I saw that we started running out of it. But 2 seems to be working just fine. So we have two of the builds supplying this entire thing. Oh, and just 1 coke powder build. I had 3 of them, but turned out that just 1 was working at all times and other 2 were idling, so I just narrowed it down to 1, and 1 seems to be working just fine. Yep, so that's where we're at right now. We are gonna get ready to possibly get Pocket Watch as our next contract. And we're gonna be looking at making Blast Potion because that's the next thing. I also want to concentrate on making Venus because I'm thinking Venus is what's gonna help us progress further with all the upgrade points. We're gonna need to use a Knowledge Altar when I get more upgrade points and start working on certain things I need to work on. Because as of now we have level 2 in Logistics and Factory Efficiency, level 4 in Alchemy, and level 2 in both Fertilizer and Fuel Efficiency. I have nothing in purchase contracts as of yet, and I have not been doing much of quests at all, and we've still been getting good amount of monies. So we possibly want to increase this to at least level 4. Definitely increase Alchemy. I want it to be at least 2 levels above everything else, because that's what it seems ratios are working out for me. And Fertilizer and Fuel Efficiency. Fertilizer is gonna need to go way higher than everything else, because my builds tend to be Fertilizer heavy. So yeah, I'll have to take care of that. But as soon as we're gonna start getting altar points, we're gonna need to work on relic knowledge as well, so that way we can extract knowledge out of relics more efficiently. And I think we covered a substantial amount of work today, and we're gonna look at something cool tomorrow as well. And again, with that being said, Corton's out.